Well, folks, it seems Canadian politics is going through another one of its phases again. But this time, it's not just a minor hiccup or a fleeting controversy, and by phase, I mean a good old-fashioned political scandal. The kind that makes you question the very fabric of our political system. This time, it's not about socks or weird hats. No, this is something that strikes at the core of our democracy. It's about something far more serious. Corruption. The kind of corruption that erodes public trust and undermines the integrity of our institutions. Yep, the C word is back, and it's hitting harder than ever. This isn't just a minor scandal, it's a full-blown crisis. Recent weeks have seen a flurry of accusations, resignations, and finger-pointing. It's like a political soap opera, but with real consequences. The headlines are dominated by stories of shady dealings and abuses of power. Every day seems to bring a new twist in this unfolding drama. It seems like every day brings a new revelation, leaving Canadians feeling angry, disillusioned, and frankly, a little bit ripped off. The sense of betrayal is palpable. The epicenter of this political earthquake is none other than Ottawa, where the very heart of Canadian democracy seems to be under siege. The storm clouds are gathering over Parliament Hill. From coast to coast, people are glued to their screens, watching the drama unfold with a mixture of fascination and disgust. Conversations in cafes and living rooms are dominated by this scandal. This isn't just another political circus, folks. This is a defining moment for our country. This is about the very soul of our nation. It's about who we are and what we stand for as Canadians. It's about trust, accountability, and the fundamental principles that Canada is supposed to stand for. Principles that are now being questioned and scrutinized. And right now, those principles are being put to the test. The outcome of this scandal will shape the future of our democracy. Let's start with the big one, the spectacular downfall of Randy Boissonnault. Once a rising star in the Liberal Party, Boissonnault was forced to resign as Minister for Employment, Workforce Development, and Official Languages in November 2024. His resignation marked a significant turning point in his career, which had been on a meteoric rise until then. His crime? Oh, just a little thing called violating conflict of interest laws. This wasn't just a minor slip-up. It was a full-blown scandal that rocked the political landscape. Seems our friend Randy had some business dealings that were, shall we say, a tad suspect. These dealings were not just questionable, but outright unethical, raising eyebrows across the board. Turns out he co-owned a company called Global Health Imports, or GHI for short. This company was at the center of the controversy, and its operations were far from transparent. And what does GHI do? Well, they just happened to secure over $8.2 million in pandemic contracts, outbidding multinational companies with far more experience. This raised serious questions about the fairness and integrity of the bidding process. Now here's where it gets really juicy. Boissonnault remained listed as a GHI director while serving as an MP. This blatant conflict of interest was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Not exactly the most ethical move, eh? This dual role compromised his ability to serve the public impartially. And if that wasn't bad enough, GHI itself has a history that would make even the most hardened cynic blush. The company's past was riddled with controversies and legal issues. We're talking lawsuits, ethical violations, unpaid bills, unfulfilled orders, fraud, arson, wire fraud, and even alleged links to international drug smuggling. The list of accusations was long and damning. It's like a greatest hits compilation of corporate malfeasance. Each new revelation added another layer to the scandal. But wait, there's more. It also came to light that Boissonnault falsely claimed indigenous heritage to secure contracts. This was a particularly egregious act that further tarnished his reputation. I guess he missed the memo that honesty is still a virtue. His actions were a betrayal of public trust. Talk about adding insult to injury. The public outcry was immediate and intense. The Boissonnault scandal sent shockwaves through the Canadian political landscape. It was a wake-up call for many about the vulnerabilities in the system. It was a stark reminder that even the seemingly untouchable are not immune from the temptations of power and greed. The fallout from this scandal will be felt for years to come. As if the Boissonnault scandal wasn't enough, new allegations of corruption have emerged, this time striking at the very heart of the Trudeau administration. Whispers of wrongdoing have been swirling around Parliament Hill for weeks, and now those whispers have turned into a deafening roar. The details are still emerging, but the allegations are serious. We're talking about the alleged misuse of public funds, favoritism in awarding government contracts, and a blatant disregard for the principles of transparency and accountability. It's enough to make your head spin. The timing of these allegations couldn't be worse for Prime Minister Trudeau. Already grappling with the fallout from the Boissonade scandal, he now finds himself facing a full-blown crisis of confidence. It seems like the walls are closing in, and the pressure is mounting with each passing day. So, how has the government responded to this latest barrage of accusations? Well, in typical fashion, they've launched into full damage control mode. We've seen the usual flurry of press conferences, carefully worded statements, and promises of swift and decisive action. Trudeau and his team are adamant that they take these allegations very seriously and that a full investigation is underway. They've also announced a series of measures aimed at enhancing transparency and preventing future corruption. All of this is designed to reassure Canadians that they're committed to ethical governance. But let's be honest, folks. After years of scandals and broken promises, it's going to take more than just words to win back the trust of Canadians. Actions speak louder than words, and right now, the government's actions are speaking volumes. You can bet your bottom dollar that the opposition parties are smelling blood in the water. The recent wave of scandals has given them the perfect opportunity to go on the offensive. They've been quick to pounce on these latest scandals, using them as ammunition in their relentless attacks on the government. Every misstep, every questionable decision is being scrutinized and amplified. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has been particularly vocal, accusing the Trudeau government of fostering a culture of corruption and demanding a full parliamentary inquiry. His speeches are filled with fiery rhetoric, aiming to rally public support. He's also called for the resignation of everyone involved in these scandals, from the lowliest staffer to the Prime Minister himself. Poilievre's demands are growing louder by the day. Not to be outdone, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has proved himself to be a hypocrite, and apparently as corrupt as Trudeau himself. He's called for stricter anti-corruption laws, emphasizing the need for a robust legal framework to prevent future misconduct. Then promptly votes against non-confidence votes in order to hang on to his position long enough to selfishly trade the trust of Canadians for his gold-plated pension that he will be eligible for in just a few months. Like most politicians, he always puts himself ahead of country and duty. Sweeping reforms to the way government operates is the only way to restore public trust in the political system. But belief that that will happen anytime soon is jaded at best. It seems that all politicians, regardless of their party or rhetoric, are intent on doing the bidding of a donor class, rather than what is in the best interest of the people. It seems they are in it for themselves first. The opposition's outrage may be predictable, but that doesn't make it any less justified. Their calls for change resonate with a public tired of political scandals. Canadians deserve better than a government mired in scandal, and seemingly more interested in protecting itself than serving the people. The demand for integrity and accountability has never been stronger. It's not just the politicians who are feeling the heat. Ordinary Canadians are fed up with the seemingly endless cycle of scandals and cover-ups. There's a growing sense of disillusionment and distrust in the corridors of power. Polls show that Trudeau's approval ratings have plummeted in recent months, and it's not hard to see why. His recent resignation has done little to aid the Liberal Party gain any form of legitimacy. Their reign of corruption, greed, and quite frankly, treason in many instances, has left the Canadian people and many around the world fed up with the lies and abuse of rights. Canadians are tired of the empty promises, the lack of accountability, and the feeling that those in charge are more interested in lining their own pockets than serving the public good. There's a palpable sense of fatigue setting in, a feeling that corruption has become so pervasive that it's just a normal part of Canadian politics. And that, my friends, is a dangerous road to go down. For many Canadians, these latest scandals bring back painful memories of the SNC-Lavalin affair that rocked the Trudeau government back in 2019. You remember that one, right? The one where Trudeau was accused of pressuring his then Attorney General to intervene in a criminal bribery case involving a powerful Quebec-based engineering firm. The SNC-Lavalin scandal left a stain on Trudeau's reputation, and it seems he's learned little from that experience. The current crop of scandals only serves to reinforce the perception that he's more interested in protecting his friends and allies than upholding the rule of law. History, as they say, has a funny way of repeating itself. And in this case, it's not a laughing matter. So what does the future hold for Canadian politics? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? One thing's for sure, the coming weeks and months will be crucial as investigations continue and political pressure mounts. Will the opposition parties be able to capitalize on the government's woes, or will they be seen as opportunistic vultures? And most importantly, will Canadians get the answers and accountability they deserve? Only time will tell how this latest chapter in Canadian political drama will unfold. But one thing's for certain, the fight against corruption is far from over. It's a fight that requires constant vigilance, unwavering commitment, and a refusal to accept anything less than the highest ethical standards from our elected officials. And of course, this does not only apply to the politicians themselves. The judiciary of Canada has been infiltrated with many judges full of the woke mind virus, as Elon Musk would say. They, along with the police and military who have morphed from servants of the people to jackboot thugs backing the corrupt government. Their actions during the pandemic prove that they will ignore any of your rights or any law or trust to serve their corporate masters over the rights of the people. Fairness for the people seems to be a thing of the past. Unless we, the proud people of Canada, stand up, this all continues in earnest. We all need to make ourselves known. We needn't fear being called some woke, made-up name. To do that is cowardice in the highest order. To allow your family, life, and country to be destroyed because you fear being called a racist or a homophobe or Islamophobe or whatever made-up lie of a name that is designed to make you shy away from doing what is right, then you fail. You are a weak link. You add no value to society, yourself, or your family. Well, folks, there you have it. As always, use your own mind. Think for yourself. Canadian politics is a mess, but hey, what else is new? But this is about more than just gossip and scandal. It's about the future of our country. It's about the kind of Canada we want to leave for our children and grandchildren. So, what do you think? Are you as fed up with corruption as I am? Do you think Trudeau crawling away with his tail between his legs, since there is nothing else there, will make any difference going forward? Will he and all those who backed him face the severe consequences they deserve under a new government? Or will it just be corrupt business as usual? Let me hear about your opinion in the comments. Share your thoughts, your frustrations, and your hopes for the future. Because in times like these, your voice matters more than ever. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more hard-hitting commentary on the state of Canadian and world politics. These issues are not isolated to Canada. They are ubiquitous. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and too many have had that power for too long. And be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment below. Let's get this conversation started.